Hi there. Just thought I would update you on my statistics before I get into my talk today. So my known words total, I'm hoping to get. If you look at my statistics, I've got a bunch of, you know, targets there. I don't know where they came from. I think the system generates them based on how how I define myself as a learner. But in my own mind, I want to get to 20,000 known words, which means I have to get about 700 new known words a week. So I'm not at that level. I'm 440 known words this past week. And the links come along naturally, simply because I'm getting new content, new podcasts transcribed, and I go through them and I find lots of new words. But my main objective is to get out of those 50,000 or so saved links to try and convert them to known. I often do that by going into my vocabulary section and looking at category 2 or even category 2 and 3 words rather, and then moving those to known that I already know. But I haven't come across them in texts yet to where I can move them to known. One final thing, the weather's getting worse, so I haven't been doing as much because the weather's been good, and when the weather is good, I want to take advantage and go and play golf. As you can see today, the weather is not so good, and when the weather is not so good, then it's an opportunity to do more studying. And as we head into the colder season, the wetter season, hopefully you all will also have more opportunity to study your languages. In my case, it's Arabic. So let's get on to the video for today. Hi there, Steve Coffin here, and talking again about language learning. What do you know? Remember, if you enjoy these videos, and I hope you do because I want to encourage people to learn languages, then please subscribe. You can, tap on the little bell to get notified. And if you want to learn languages the way I do, come and join us at Link. Now, what I want to talk about today is the connection between doing the dishes and learning languages. All right, most people don't think of. They think of learning languages, they got to go to school or read grammar books. But I associate learning languages with doing the dishes. Because I would say that probably I spend more time learning languages while doing the dishes than any other time. Because, I shouldn't say just doing the dishes, also in the kitchen. Because typically every morning I prepare breakfast, which consists of starting the coffee, the espresso machine, and then I chop up fruit, apples, and sometimes we have berries. Might even be a mango. And then on top of that, I sprinkle some quick oats, because the quick oats are, if you're going to make muesli, it's better the quick oats than the slow cooking oats, which we would normally use for oatmeal. I have to do that. Then my wife makes sourdough bread, so I grab the bread from the freezer, get it to thaw out a bit so I can cut it up so we can put that in the toaster. At any rate, and then I boil some tea, so there's a preparation period there of 15 minutes or so. I'm listening to my Arabic, so I listen to a podcast. I don't understand it. I'm tantalized because I know they're talking. For example, I was listening to one this morning talking about Netanyahu said something at the Knesset about the normalization of relations with the United Arab Emirates, and now his views on this. And then they interviewed a Palestinian or an Israeli Arab and other people, and I'm getting more and more of it, but not really totally understanding it. So I'm looking forward to then being able to study that on Link. So the listening with the dishes gets me going. And of course, the same thing happens in the evening when my wife cooks up a beautiful meal and I clean up. Now, the other connection between the dishes and learning languages is that they're, in some ways, I thought about it the other day. When we finished our lovely meal, and I then walk into the kitchen and I got this, I got pots and pans and glasses and dishes and stuff to put away, and it looks like a mess. But the fact is that, it's not going to get larger, the mess. It's not going to get worse. So as I slowly start, I put the salt and the olive oil away, and then I put some things into the fridge, and then I rinse the dishes off before that I put them into the dishwasher, and then slowly I get over to the pots that might be full of grease, and that's a little more hard work with the steel wool or whatever to get them clean. But it's slowly getting less. I just have to, one item at a time, attack the mess in the kitchen. And I do that, of course, while I'm listening to whatever language I'm listening to. But it's the same with languages. You aren't going to get worse in the language. It's just slowly, you learn more, you acquire more words, you start to notice more things, it becomes a little clearer. And so it's that same idea that there is a task there, that if you look at the entirety of the task, like starting a language from zero, it seems like a very daunting task, or the mess. Particularly if we've had, nowadays any guest would just be Mark and his family over, and you get all those dishes to do. It looks like a lot, but slowly, just bit by bit. And the same with languages. Little by little, you put away more words, more phrases. You notice things, you forget them, you notice them again. But you aren't getting worse. You're slowly getting better. And particularly nowadays, as I've mentioned before, we're living in a world where the technology is constantly making things better. Artificial intelligence, I mentioned now, the automatic transcription of podcasts has become so accurate. And of course you can go and you can import it with timestamps. You can import from YouTube into link with timestamps. If you look at it in sentence view, you'll actually see, the video that matches the sentence. The whole world of language learning is becoming so comfortable for people. And, right now they have the sort of polyglot conference, virtual polyglot conference going on, and I've visited a bit. But I noticed some of the comments there were that they agree with me that the word polyglot is a little bit intimidating. A lot of people don't know what it means. It sounds like something very, official and serious and scientific. But really all we're talking about is people who like to learn languages. And learning languages, as I always say, it brings so many benefits. Getting in touch with the music of another language, getting in touch with the way of thinking of another culture, meeting people of a different country and being able to relate to them in a closer way because you speak their language. All these benefits, and yet it's become easier and easier to do. So again, doing the dishes, bit of a humdrum task. To that extent, language learning is not so humdrum, but it's the same to the extent that little by little we get better and we don't get worse. Little by little, the kitchen gets cleaned. Little by little, we learn our languages. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.